It's time for Tactical Tuesday. In today's Tactical Tuesday episode, I want to discuss bricking. Before diving into this topic, I want to thank the Eggman, Hayden, and Topcut again for the opportunity to co-commentate for the Ultimate Cup. These are amazing opportunities to see players play unconventional decks that you normally might not see. And I can tell you that some of these topics come up because of the things I've seen to help you as players improve. Congratulations also to Christian Go for appearing not once, not twice, but 3 times during the stream and showcasing what a powerhouse Melga X is. Without further ado though, I've talked about consistency, and I've talked about security bombs. But in instances where you draw a card that is completely unplayable, what do? As always, if you enjoy these types of videos, do consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and hitting that notification bell for more future content. When your hand is nothing but level 4s or tamers, you gotta do what you gotta do. There are a number of tamers that can really get you out of the bind in this specific format. Digimontcg can dig you out of potential trouble by looking at the top 3 cards and adding a blue and or green Digimon. In Melga X decks, you might find that blue rookie Gabumon you're missing to start your Digivolution climb. Cool Boy is another option you can go with, but this tamer can be particularly risky. As of right now in the Digimon trading card game, there are only a handful of rookies that are played, and even then, they only have one X antibody counterpart. That is until BT11. Agumon X will have 2 different versions that Cool Boy can find, a black variant and a red variant. But in a game of statistics, if you're still missing that rookie, statistically you'll have a higher chance to bottom deck the non-X variant than finding it. But again, you gotta do what you gotta do. Memory boost can also be helpful in these particular instances. But ultimately, when you fail to find the rookie to start your chain, what can you do? Here are some options to consider when bricking, whether it be a turn 1 or in multiple turns. Number 1. In the situation where you have cards that can search off the top, use them. Some of these cards will typically mitigate the amount of memory you give, which number 2 is all about. Mitigate the amount of memory you give to your opponent. In the current format, it can be deadly to even hand over 1 memory. Remember the BT9 format where 1 memory was enough for Alphamon to combo off completely and end the game? Kind of the same situation here. Melga X, as we saw in the Ultimate Cup on Saturday, 1 or 2 memory you could potentially lethal your opponent in 1 turn. But in a worst case scenario, you'll have to do number 3. Do nothing and pass the turn. Passing the turn sets your opponent to 3 memory, and at times this can be your only scenario as you hope to draw into the card you need, i.e. that rookie. But memory fixing yourself also isn't a bad option, considering you'll guarantee a memory start at 3, with most level 4s having a memory cost of 5 or 6. This puts your opponent cleanly back at 2 or 3 for the start of their turn. In regard to other items to consider from observing players during the Ultimate Cup, there are also instances where playing the tamer or hitting the tamer in security may or may not help your opponent. One round we saw Melga X brick and never find the rookie. Their opponent swung and hit Cool Boy off their top, only for them to not find that Gabumon X. But even worse, with 2 tamers and a body out, enough information had been telegraphed that slamming down a Death Xmon was huge. And guess what? The Melga X player still couldn't find a rookie. Playing Death Xmon was a huge play that could have been a mistake giving all the memory, but in the end, it paid off because then it prevented any bodies from sticking to the board. In the finals, featuring Gaia Force Gaming's Dan Vang and Christian Go, was another instance where a tamer hit in security changed the outcome of the game. While neither player had a memory fixer, swinging into the security and hitting the Davis Motomiya is what would allow Christian to make one of the biggest pushes at the Ultimate Cup. With blue memory boosting Cool Boy in play already, a lot of cards were drawn, and at the same time, ending the game. In many games I've played, hitting a specific tamer in security can sway the game into my opponent's favor. Sometimes for the better, and at other times, for the worst. In general, what tactic do you go with when you brick? Do you simply pass turn, slam the level 4 or even level 5 down on the board? Or do you mitigate the damage by playing a tamer that could potentially give you an advantage later? Let me know your thoughts on this super short episode in the comments below. This is DigiPanda, logging out.